Spring has officially sprung and it's time for a fresh start, a new season and of course a new episode of Trendz Live with myself, Nkosazana Dambuza. It's an honor to have you with us tonight. Do interact with us on Twitter at Trendz on SABC. Now we start with this. Podcasts are still a refreshing way to gain access to vital information in a relaxed manner. Whether delivered candidly or seriously, their cause and impact resonates for long periods. It's no wonder Mohamed and Lynn Forbes have teamed up to host an unapologetic, opinionated, entertaining, enlightening and engaging podcast. Outspoken Owls aims to reframe the narrative of what it means to be a middle-aged woman. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies. How are you?
We're excited to be here, the 1st of September.
And you look absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you for having us. It's very exciting to be here.
Now, I want to know what inspired the name Outspoken Owls.
Well, I think with Lynn and I, we often barely sleep. You know, when you going through
Owlish behavior,
we have this owlish behavior. We say we barely sleep, and we always think about, you know, owls are always there. They're always awake. There's just a lot of wisdom that owls give you. Owls are nurturing. We actually even have our own. You know, owl names that we call ourselves. You know, she calls me a screechy owl because I'm a bit loud. I call her a tawny owl because of her tan.
Like of that, you know, it's the brownie, tawny.
Yeah. But just being owlish means that we come with experience, we come with some kind of knowledge, some kind of wisdom. And outspoken is, of course, both Lynn and I are just opinionated.
Absolutely.
You know, we have a voice, we use it. So it was just, you know, let's call ourselves Outspoken Owls.
Outspoken Owls.
Oh, wow. I love the name. It's very unique. Now, podcasting is a very different kind of medium, or a medium of communication. Why did you choose this specifically?
Well, these days podcasts, you know, you can listen to on the radio while you're driving in a car. You can listen to it while you're at the gym. So it's not like selectively where you have to, you know, have a time that you have to listen to it. And I think podcasts globally is
it's happening. It's new and happening. Somebody said on social media, Lynn and Katie jumping on the podcast bandwagon. So it's like, okay, we're on trend then.
Absolutely, I love it. And of course, I want to bring you, Lynn, into the conversation now. The aim of Outspoken Owls is to reframe the narrative of a middle-aged woman. Why the need to reframe her narrative, and who is this middle-aged woman?
So we are, firstly, let me start with, we are women. Well, firstly, we are not specifically just aiming at middle-aged women. We are telling the stories of middle-aged women, but our audience is wider. We are looking at men and women in our age category, but also younger women that might, or people, younger people that might want to look at us and say, wow, okay, so that is what life is like in middle age, and you know, there's some sort of education and preparation for that. Why reframing that narrative? Because there's this old saying of women over 40, well, life starts at 40, but when you kind of get to over 50, you on like the shelf, has-beens, over the hill, you know, kind of silent, nobody really listens to you anymore. And we want to say, no, absolutely not. We're not going to allow that to happen. We will have a voice and we'll share that voice, and we are very opinionated, obviously, like the name says, and we have a lot to offer.
Absolutely, because life begins at 40,
and
right?
it gets better after 50.
Absolutely. And of course, you're aiming to engage with your audiences through this platform. So what sort of topics will you be discussing? I can't wait to hear.
Okay, oh my word, we're gonna go through this. So menopause.
We have some favorite topics that we passionate about.
We started off talking about our menopausal era. Really. So there's menopause. There's more fun ones like dating after 50. There's stuff like today we filmed.
We spoke about entanglements.
You know?
We speak
after
about
50.
We speak about things like. sexuality, sensuality, what does that look like for us? Because again, people think that a midlife, it's your end of your life.
Yeah.
We talk about, what does a menopause mean to us? How does it affect our partners? So even if men listen to it, they'll actually be more conscious and aware of their partners through these phases of menopause.
So fun topics and more serious topics, but it's not boxed into we're only speaking about X. It's whatever we encounter, and we're sharing our life experience. So whatever we decide is relevant for us to talk about, whatever we feel like is our lows and highs within this era of our lives. And I'm trying to think of some of the others. I mean, we've literally
we've done a lot.
10 episodes in 2 days. What were the topics, Katie?
So it was really great. So I think, it's also entertaining. So as much as there's educational, there's entertaining stuff. So we also talk about how do we navigate our life through midlife. And with women, so with men, we feel that it's a crisis, and we are saying it's really not a crisis, it's a transition.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we start making different decisions as we get older. We become more responsible. I mean, I think sometimes, our male counterparts won't agree with us, but some of them want to buy a Range Rover, a new car, maybe have an affair, and here we are like, okay, we are retiring, what are we going to do, what our hobbies look like? So I think those are the things that, it's like, how do we navigate our life through midlife?
Yeah.
And we don't say that it's a crisis.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's definitely a
And it's
transition.
not. I really love the transparency that you're bringing to this platform, ladies. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
You're obviously both very outspoken, but how did this partnership come about? What makes you two the dynamic duo?
Okay, so I'll take this one. Katie and I have been friends for quite a while, and we do what women do. What do ladies do when they get together? You go out for lunch, you go out and watch a movie, you have tea or coffee, or Katie doesn't drink, so we have coffee and tea and water, and we vent. That's what you do with your friends. You vent and you talk about your life. And one day I think actually Katie said, all we need is a mic. So with the stories, because we're sharing our lives, and what is it that what we need to make this have impact, and we decided, and it was actually, you said we should start a podcast, and I think the talk started sometime last year already, and then obviously life happened in the beginning of this year for me, and we put it off for a while, and then we thought now it's the time. It also has given me personally a release, something more exciting to do, something to look forward to, something to just kind of balance out everything else in my life at the moment.
And I think for me, it's just been so authentic and so organic as well. So the conversations that you will see on YouTube, or you'll listen to on the podcast, is exactly who we are. If Lynn and I, we were just sitting in the green room, we were doing some TikToks, and if people see Lynn and I, it is who we are. If we go to social events, we go on the red carpet, it's what are we wearing, who we're going to talk to, who we're not going to talk to, and we're going to avoid. So it's those things. So it's like so organic for us, and I think it's really, we just needed a camera, and we needed a mic to actually talk about what we often talked about how as women we have adult children. So other people talk about children. We were like, we have adult children, and it's very different. And I think for me, it was really the sharing of deep, entrenched stories that we are able to only trust each other with.
And I love it.
And that is what it's like. It's so important to have a sisterhood and friendships.
But and I would like to add, because I think what is important is exactly that you have this bond with somebody that you firstly can trust, that they have your back, you can share whatever you want to, and there's no judgment.
And just very quickly, ladies, I want to know, how do you want your listeners to feel after listening to each episode?
That they're not alone. That anything they are feeling, there are a million other women that are feeling that. And I think that is what it is. Today we had recorded a topic about entanglement, and it was really like, if you went through that, let people not judge you, but talk to us and say, I've been through this, and I'm human, and I'm not alone. And I think for me, that
is for you. For me, I want them to relate and say, I relate to that. I can't wait for the next episode.
Yeah.
You know, and it's something where they can't wait because what are they going to talk about next time? And I'm learning so much from this because it's so relatable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the topics that you guys have discussed. I can't wait to hear about whether you'll actually be discussing about navigating being a middle-aged woman and going into a relationship when you have children already. Wow. Like, I hope you ladies will go into that because I'll definitely be tuning in.
We are definitely going into that.
I'll definitely be tuning in. Thank you so much for joining us. But before I let you go, I also want to know, what message do you have for the middle-aged woman that's tuning in right now? Just that one message of hope.
For me, it's about live your life with authenticity, intent, and purpose. And if you live that, and if you believe that, you're a queen. You literally step out there into your queendom.
Absolutely. Yeah, know who you are and release your inner goddess.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Queens, for joining us today. You brought, what a wonderful vibe you've brought into the studio. I love starting off the show with you. Thank you so much. And I'm sure many women in South Africa have resonated with your message of hope and inspiration. Please continue to do what you're doing. You are absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
We move on to this story now. It's a new season and a new opportunity for experiencing adventurous water activities. Now, show producer Asanda Zondi joined a mermaid-inspired workout class and tapped into her inner mermaid. Now, whether you're looking for something new to try or want to challenge yourself with a different type of workout, this could be an exciting way to get active and stay fit while having fun.
Mermaiding, the artistic swimming activity in which people wear mermaid fins and tails, is gaining popularity in South Africa. This latest fitness trend is inspired by the movements of the mermaid, where the body rolls into your swimming routine to help you propel forward. Sounds simple, doesn't it? Well, it's not. Either way, we are trying it out this spring season.
This is a fabric tail, and inside there's a rubber monofin. Mermaiding is a fitness technique. It's like rather than going to the gym lifting weights, you're rather going to swim in a beautiful mermaid tail. It involves different swimming techniques. There's lots of sculling. There's tricks like backflips and handstands. It really works the whole body, and it's also becoming a very popular sport worldwide. It's a little bit harder work. Swimming with your legs together require quite your whole body, all the muscles in your body. You have to make this undulating movement with your whole body. Whereas in aqua fitness, we might be, it's like aerobics in the water. You're really just standing in one place or moving a little bit to the side. Whereas in mermaiding, we use the whole pool and merfit or mermaid fitness.
Sure, did you hear that? Now I'm worried. You are telling me that it's much more difficult because your feet are together, right? So if I do not know how to swim, can I just come here and just learn how to mermaid?
So you do need to be able to swim first. However, if you just wanted to have a mermaid experience and you can't swim, we can help you, but we're just going to do it here in the shallow end. We're going to do basic swimming techniques and take you through it slowly. We'll start without the tail first and make sure that you get the technique down first, get you to swim in the monofin first, and then work you up to swimming with the tail. It's fun. It's like therapy. The water is very healing. It's really good for people that have back pain. It's helped my back a lot, makes your back very strong. Even people that are pregnant, of course you have to be able to swim already. It's very relaxing, it's very calming. It feels like therapy. I've also seen people recovering from COVID. It really helps them with their lung capacity and getting their lungs healthy again. But of course, like always, you must always ask your doctor first. So what we're going to be doing today, first of all, I'm going to show you the mermaid swimming technique or dolphin kick, facing with your body down. We can also turn it on our back, so we face the ceiling, swimming on our back. We can swim on our side. We're going to do some sculling to work our forearms and our upper body. And then we're going to do some tricks and just have some fun.
Here's the thing. There's also a spiritual angle to mermaiding. Some people who have been doing this for long swear by the healing power and regenerative energy it creates.
You get to relax and touch the inner you, and you get to be in sync and discover your inner you, that when I'm flinching like this, it's that. When it's this, it's that. And you understand your own body. We live in a buzzing city. Johannesburg is a buzzing city. At some point, there's so less of nature around us. So this is the closest you can be to nature, and nature and mental health.
I'm certain we've all experienced the magic of mermaids through movies and books. But who becomes a mermaid? What inspires them? What do they do?
So the one thing is being a mermaid is you have to look pretty. And the one thing that I struggled with is that you have air that you want to breathe and you make a bubble face, so you puff up your cheeks. And it didn't look great, so I had to figure out how to smile underwater. You need to look effortless, and you have to fake it until you make it.
I had a major horse riding accident where I had landed on a jump with my lower back, and I couldn't run like long distances and stuff like that. And then when I decided to do mermaiding, I found out with the movement that it actually helped my lower back problems.
As much as I clumsily tried not to sink while practicing my cramp release, mindfulness and that post-swim endorphin rush made it all worth it.
And now for a teaser of the good times to come this spring season. Here's Emo with his hit single Sgudi Snyc, where he's featured on Dimtuda and the Musical Chef's first single from their collaborative EP. But don't you go anywhere, because we're going to sit down with this rising star. Spring is already coming through with all the vibes. In music, the dynamic DJ duo, the Major League DJz, came to Mzansi to launch their latest single after all their international performances. Silepe Maifadi had a chat with them about all the great work they are up to. Let's have a look.
Dynamic amapiano duo DJz are back in South Africa. We know that they are globe-trotting. They don't even stay in South Africa anymore. And when we heard that they're here at the moment, we were like, we should definitely come through to find out what they're currently up to.
We got a new song called All Night Long, featuring Elaine and your man's Yams. It's a song that we did in a studio camp. You know, it wasn't even planned or anything, but it's just us taking our music to a global space. You know, it's our first song under our record label called Atlantic Records. So it's our first international release, let me say, properly. So yeah, it's all the blessings. You know, we haven't been in the country, hardly in the country, because you know, like we say, we're spreading amapiano, taking it to the world, making sure we educate people outside of South Africa what the sound is and where it's going.
Taking from the fact that you guys grew up in Boston and now having so much of your time back there, what's that like?
We are born in America because our parents were in exile, you know, fighting apartheid. It's different, but I love home. I love being home, you know. America's not all the best we think it is, you know. It's a nice place. It's full of stars, but I think the environment is better here, you know. And just being home is always lovely. So I don't really compare it. My family is here. I'm South African and I love being here.
When we look at the crowd, how is that engagement that you have with a South African crowd or African crowd versus an international crowd when you guys are performing?
Overseas, like Major League's coming there in town. Damn, I need to be there. They're all there. There's people from YouTube, everything, because our balcony mixes are huge overseas. So everyone's like, yo, Major League's here. And you go see them live and then they go. You know, so reception is always bigger that side. Reception in South Africa, probably now since we're not here, will probably be as big because you're not here. That's why I'm doing my own shows like the Balcony Mix, 16th of September, where we have like whole production, everything outdoor, 5,000 people, yeah.
And I mean, last year we saw you guys do a big balcony mix session where you obviously broke a whole record. Are you taking it that far again this year?
Maybe not in the record, but in terms of parties, you know, we back in the day we used to do Major League Gardens that everybody used to love. So yeah, we're bringing back that vibe, that energy, but in the dance scene now, and building it so we can bring you other dance DJs from across the world to our show, you know. Have a place where Major Lazer can come, Skrillex, Diplo, you know, You know what I'm saying? So that's how we trying to build that now, and that's how we build. Our focus is there. Now it's all about building structures, building value. And Amapiano scene, you know, and I believe that Amapiano has that value. It's just how does it look like? How do you make sure you get the right sponsors? How do you do those things? Yeah.
Is it not becoming somewhat of a concern when you are mentioning right now that you are fusing in a bit of like dance music as opposed to just concentrating more on Amapiano and more African sounds to it? Are we saying you are off-ramping into another genre, or will you still be part of the Yanos?
No, piano is dance music. You know, it has its own place in dance music. Dance music is just a whole like scene, space. There's Afro tech, there's all these things. My piano's its own space in dance music. So no, we're not off-ramping or anything. We're just making sure you receive it as dance music, you know. In other countries, you have like, it's just now we're prioritizing the DJ, let me say. You know, there's no stage for like people performing. It's a DJ show. Yeah.
Amapiano overseas is usually pocketed with Afro beats. So we're trying to move away from that and do the dance scene. So it must go with house music, electro music, Afro tech. Must be able to put it in one box. Right now we're in the box of Afrobeat globally. So we're trying to get that stigma out and trying to be represented on the dance space.
It's getting nice and warm in Mzansi. If you're forecasting the vibes, if you wanna just say where are you gonna be actually?
We're gonna be touring. Like we went back on tour with America, but we'll be back. We have a show on the 16th of September. You know, at Mushroom Park in Santon. Big vibes, lovely girls, pretty vibes. You know, nice guys. Energy's right. Good music.
Ask anybody who's been to Major League Gardens, the experience, the joyful, how nice it was just to be there for those few hours. We always make sure everybody has a good time and the hospitality is right. So yeah, it's just now we're taking into the dance space. Just beautiful vibes, beautiful people too.
Madison Square Garden, how's that vision? Still rocking with that?
Madison Square Garden, definitely we're gonna be doing it. We're probably also doing it this year. Just our brother hasn't announced anything yet, but yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it, Trendz. Spring Summer 2023 is definitely sorted because Major League is doing new music. They've already dropped a single already that is really setting the scene on what you can expect in terms of more music for them this coming season. So don't say we didn't plug you. Have a great spring summer season. We'll check you on the flip side. And that, of course, ladies and gents, Major League DJz.
Oh, God. Yo, what's good, party people? It's your boys, the Major League DJz, and y'all are watching SABC Trendz.
Born and raised from Kransklop, Untunjambili in KZN, Mubego Mbuliso Shangase, better known as Emo in the South African music scene, has trailblazed in the Yanos and now works alongside the heavyweights that set the scene of Mzansi's enjoyment. Now, as we celebrate the warmer days of spring 2023, we look back and celebrate an artist that has firmly kept us warm in winter with the hit track Sgudi Snyc, which might very well also set the mood for the season because definitely more times are approaching. Now, welcome to Trendz Live. Emo, how are you?
Thank you for having me.
Ah, man, you have certainly brought in the warm temperature in the studio. No, we love your hit track, Sgudi Snyc, rather.
Yes.
Tell us what inspired it.
The track Sgudi Snyc, I was actually called by Umtuda. He's a producer, Umtuda.
Yeah.
I think I want to have so you know, I approach her. And then he told me the idea the old Sgudi Snyc. I was doing back, but now I will say the music parts here corner. So yeah, we played along the idea and then the track came out.
I was wondering, how did this idea come about? Because you're 24 years old and you've given us this nostalgic feeling with the Sgudi Snyc. You know, but it seems like you have a very good working chemistry with Dimtuda as well because you have another track that is called Ituba coming up. Can you tell us about that one?
Ituba. Funny enough, we actually did Ituba same day as Sgudi Snyc.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, the creative juices were flowing.
Yeah. So we did Ituba also.
Absolutely. Yeah. Speaking about opportunities, you know, what is it like working with these heavyweights? Can you tell us about the vibe in the studio? I can only imagine. Ziyasha, ziyakhala.
Engakusho ukuthi you get to learn a lot, yabona, because bona bane experience in industry more than mina. So, and but then they don't show you ukuthi uyafika or what. So treat equally as wonke umuntu. So ufila comfortable. That's why kunama concepts apha ayafikayo ongakhona ukuthi yabo uwenza uthukile usabi. So yeah, ugcina ufunda a lot from bona yabo since babane experience.
That is amazing. Yeah. I love it for you.
Thank you.
Now you started off in hip hop and you jumped off of that train, joined the Yanos. Can you talk us through that transition? Why did you take that decision?
The reason why I changed from hip hop to amapiano, it's because I made like one track, amapiano. I think it was 2020 or 2021, I can't recall. So I shy track and then I sang post on Twitter the video. And then it's trended on Twitter. So that's when I was like, okay, maybe this is the part that Melanie had. So that's how I changed from hip hop to amapiano.
Absolutely. And you seem like a person who's not afraid of change, who's not afraid of starting new things, because you're actually a law graduate. A whole law graduate. But now you're doing music. Can you talk us through that journey?
Music vele bekuyiphupho. Yabona, so lelo yazi kunezinto kumele uzenzele ukuthi maybe you are smart and then your parents just want you to focus esikoleni yabo, because kunaleyo conflict ukuthi mawuthi une talent ekhaya kuyenzeka ukuthi bafuna ukuthi wenze something ezoletha imali. They usually don't believe ukuthi music or soccer or whatever umuntu anayo talent ingaletha imali, because baningi abantu abanalo and abaphumeleli. So kwakukanjalo ukuthi mina I just wanted to do music from the get-go, but then ekhaya they just wanted me to do izinto zelo zesikole, but then ngazenza and then thema ngiqeda then ngase ngibuyela back kuma roots wami yabo, which is music career le engipushayo.
Wow. Listen, many of us can relate with that struggle, you know, of the creative industry. Parents are worried about whether we're going to be able to put, bread on the table. Now, lastly, I want to know from you, the Groove Times are coming. Where can we find you?
You mean like in terms of social media?
Your performances?
Okay. Ziningi indawo for now. So we're just doing our gigs. So out of the country, out of the province, KZN, Siagu, AC. So in the way, cool, like Free State, Pumalanga. So I'm always all over. Since we festive, so all over.
You're a jet setter.
Listen,
you said all over the world. I love it for you.
Let me just say,
I love it for you.
All over the world.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us in studio today. You're absolutely phenomenal. Now it's The leading wines in South Africa took center stage this week at the Nedbank Winemakers Guild Auction Showcase. This year's silent online auction had a twist as wine and art blended through artificial intelligence. Each artwork that was on display portrayed the tasting notes, the environment of which the wine was created, as well as the peculiar science that went into creating each blend, all in the hopes for creating more proceeds for women that are in the Guild's Protégé Development Program. Now, Salepe Maifadi was out there. Let's have a look.
A celebration of the South African wine industry. Today we're looking at how art can meet wine while at the same time auctioning beautiful artworks and wine for a protege programs where young female industry winemakers get to really showcase and show off the best of what they can do continuously through such programs. Tell us a bit about the Protégé Silent Program. What is it about? Auction, I mean.
Yeah, okay. So we're at obviously the Nedbank CWG Cape Winemakers Guild event. Cape Winemakers Guild is a gathering of the best winemakers in South Africa, and the aim of this event essentially is to raise money for their Protégé program. That program is designed to bring up-and-coming talent into the industry, give them a shot potentially that they wouldn't have had. So how that happens is all of the winemakers put up very unique wines, amazing high-end South African wines for people to bid on. So that's what's going on behind us, and throughout the evening you can bid on your wine, and all of those proceeds go towards bringing developing talent through into the industry.
How does it work? How do you become part of this amazing protege program?
So step one, you have to study winemaking, and that's a course called Grape and Wine Science or Viticulture and Enology, and I did my education at Stellenbosch University. In my final year, I was approached by the course facilitator, Magda, and she introduced me to the program and encouraged me to apply, and I was successful and am currently in my third year and finishing off, and this year I have a wine on auction, which is really exciting.
How does that work? Like, you're giving and you're also getting the opportunity to expose yourself.
Yes, that's right. So what's exciting obviously is the winemaking. You get to, so you're completely your own input, your own ideas, and for people to taste the wine after all the hard work that was put in, it's nice to like create an experience for someone. And what's even better is that the money that is generated from this auction goes back into the program, and that is all part of the entire transformation in the wine industry, which is needed.
And I believe this program is only working towards helping women within the field of winemaking. For you, what would you say makes it different in taste that a woman brings to the table to, that je ne sais quoi of wine?
I think that it's important to have women in every industry, no matter what it is. In winemaking, I think it's very encouraging to see more and more women, and I'm glad that the Nedbank Cape Winemakers Guild Trust is including women in this program. I think women add sort of a finer touch, and I think they're more friendly sometimes, more inviting.
I am all about empowering women. I also think that there's something tender and different that they bring to the party as far as the wines are concerned. When you taste their wines, there's a different swing on certain things. There's nuances that they have that has never come to life within our palates. And I think this whole wine world is just about to explode with this fresh, new, vibrant female wines coming to the market.
One thing that we see stand out is some artworks that are basically portraying and explaining what this particular wine would taste like. Tell us a bit about this AI configured space and how this connection or collaboration came about.
So the thought behind that was you can draw a lot of parallels between art and wine, right? So wine making is not just a farming process. There's a lot of creativity, there's a lot of thought and nuance that goes into making a phenomenal bottle of wine. So we thought we would bring that to life through a beautiful piece of art. So it is, as you say, created by AI, all the rage at the moment. But the reason why we did that is essentially you could say that each of those pieces of art were created by the winemakers themselves, because how it was done was we worked with them to determine the tasting notes in their unique wine, where it was made, any unique elements of their specific farm, and then the AI kind of generator took all of those inputs and created the unique piece of art that embodies the wine that is on auction today. So essentially you could say the winemaker is the artist.
Today we're pairing art with wine, and we have artificial intelligence that's kind of created an image of what your wine basically tastes like, the environment that it's from. What do we see when we look at your artwork and the representation of your wine?
I think the AI generated artwork represents my wine well. I think I look at the sunset or sunrise, it could be either. So there's sort of an unpredictability, and that's what I enjoy about winemaking actually.
I wanted a very sophisticated yet elegant, easy drinking wine. That's what I was going for. So as you see in front
front of you, the aromas you get on the nose is like yellow peach, Turkish apricot, white flowers, everything combined. The mouth is full and round, as you can see in the glass. It's full. It just gets out of the glass. It's full and round, going down and giving you a layered, delicate, refined fruit and floral aromas. As you can see, it's depicted on the. So this is the beautiful example of art. Like the wine itself is a piece of art.
Tonight, other artworks are, done through artificial intelligence, and you're the only one showcasing a live artist.
Well, it's very special to me for people to acknowledge the importance of the visual arts, but I also see that AI has a pivotal role in the arts moving forward. It's just different as far as they take as to the narrative of artwork and how fast you can generate stuff. AI is very faster, but as far as beauty is concerned and the actual tactile quality of the paint, never going to beat it.
So when it comes to pairing your wine, what do you usually have it with?
If I'm having pinotage, you've got to give me a ribeye. I need a ribeye with my pinotage. I want the fats and the proteins to culminate in a crescendo on my tongue. Come on now.
Yes. Love it for you. Thank you so much for speaking to us on Trend.
Thanks so much for having me.
In this age of self-love and self-discovery, going out to try new places, food and drinks is now a thing. But what should you be excited about to eat and drink this spring? Asanda explored this new trend and took herself out on a solo date at a new restaurant in Killarney Country Club to find out.
The sun is out, everybody looks light and bright. Basically, yonke right, because why? This is the new season. It is spring season and welcome to it. I am here for all of it. Even if it means you're going to be enjoying it alone, like taking yourself out on solo dates. That means trying new places, trying new sports, enjoying nice food, sipping expensive drinks. I need you to step outside because the days are warm and we are here for your happiness. We are celebrating Heritage Month.
Absolutely.
If we were to define the culture of Joburgers and going out and what they want to experience, what can you say?
I would say I have a lot of fun. In the years that I've been in the industry, I've seen that everybody just loves having fun on the side, just going out, but usually later in the afternoon, usually early in the morning, you want to sit down, have a meeting, maybe pop in somewhere, have a coffee, but it's on the go, busy in Joburg, but then from 4 or 5, you see people just opening up and having fun. Our main idea is what's going to differentiate us from anybody else would be our food and our service. We believe in providing a food and service that is at a 5-star level, but not always necessarily at the price.
So when is the perfect time to come and see the place? Is it in the morning for brunch, maybe sundowners during the week?
You can come here for a cocktail after work, come in for early morning coffee, you name it, no matter what time of the day you want to do it. You want to bring the family and the kids, have some fun, we got that set up for you as well. We try and be open and serve as much as we can. You know, you want to be a little bit out and about, sun is coming up, you want to move around. So like, something nice, fresh, and something that's going to give you a little bit of greenery coming in your glass. You know, you want to go with spring, all the flowers are busy coming out. I would say that's the best thing to do.
One thing I noted when I walked in, the aesthetics, the background, the view, that river over there. And people are all about views, right?
Yes, I would say that's an extremely important part. And I mean, coming here, sitting down, and as you say, looking down at the view, seeing some of nature moving on, it's pretty nice.
Chef, how is it like working at a new establishment? I'm sure it's very busy.
It is very busy and it's very exciting at the same time. We're looking forward to creating new things, new trends, going the trends, and then introducing some fresh ideas as well.
Self-love is a thing now, right?
Yes.
And I'm someone who's trying to explore like a solo date. Like today, what am I going to be having? What am I going to be trying from your menu?
Well, I'm going to make you cramped prawns with olives and onion salsa, and then some sweet chili, like a light meal that will go together with our nice cocktails over there.
Okay.
So you can enjoy. It's not something filling, but it's something satisfying as well. So you'll feel good about it.
So do you think that in summer or spring 2023, that's going to be the trend? Like people going for lighter meals, tapas, cocktails. What are we going to be seeing?
The tapas, definitely, because when you come with your friends, you need to experience the whole thing, not like we have seen people ordering this one and afterward they say, no, I wish I ordered that thing. So putting together small dishes that everyone can dig in and share and have the experience all together.
Let's look at what's gonna be in maybe the spring, like in terms of drinks. What do you think?
People need to start exploring more on the cocktail side of things. It's not only, even if you don't drink alcohol, just there's vegan cocktails as well.
Yeah.
Yes, that you can try out and then enjoy. Be part of the company that you're going with, not stick to orange juice or soft drinks, something like that. So be part of the group.
Okay, so everybody must try cocktails this spring. Like, make sure, even if it's a mocktail and you don't drink, it's something that is going to be trendy and people should consider.
Definitely.
Invest in consistency. M&G Investments.
Get in touch with SABC News. Call us if you have any news leads, stories, tip-offs, or simply issues you are grappling with as a community. Call us on 011-714-6133. Alternatively, email us at news@sabc.co.za. SABC News, your voice, independent and impartial.
Now ahead of the amazing global Corona Sunsets Festival World Tour that took place in Japan, Selepe Maifadi and other South Africans that headed out for this experience had one full day in Tokyo to explore the tourist attractions of the capital. Check this out.
Before experiencing the Corona Sunsets Festival World Tour in the coastal city of Okinawa, we did what all tourists do, some sightseeing and exploring the wonderful clean city of Tokyo. Did I mention how clean the city is? Well, after 2 long days of traveling from Johannesburg to Dubai, we finally arrived in Tokyo. Had a quick evening of unwinding and getting some much needed sleep ahead of the busy Tokyo tourist day. After a quick breakie, we got on the bus heading to the first stop, the Tokyo Sky Tree, known as the tallest tower in the world and the tallest structure in the world after the Merdeka and the Burj Khalifa. We headed up the 634 meters long tower in anticipation to see the city at full aerial view. And even though we only went up 350 kilometers, we were really not disappointed. The city views were pristine. After marveling at the beauty of Tokyo, we hopped back onto the bus to Asakusa, another area where we had lunch and walked to a street marketplace by a temple called Sensoji. This temple is the world's most visited religious site that has over 30 million visitors a year. The ancient temple is Tokyo's oldest temple that became independent after World War II, when it was rebuilt as a symbol of rebirth and peace. Arigato! We also went to another popular shrine called the Meiji Jingu that is dedicated to the Emperor Meiji and his wife, Empress Shokin, where we took a moment to connect with the teachings and spiritual practices.
Okay, so before we got into the temple, we had to rinse our hands and then rinse our mouths and then rinse our hands again, sort of like a cleansing before you step in. So you'll see the temple behind me, and so you take a coin and you toss it into there's like little slats there, and then you have to bow twice, and then you have to clap. But for girls, your left hand is higher than the right hand, so you clap twice, and then you put your hands together, and at that moment, as Yumi said it, God is with you, and then you sort of pray for whatever you want or wish for whatever you want, and then you send it out by bowing again. It's a very spiritual thing, and polytheistic, I think, is the word that Yumi, the tour guide, used, which means that it doesn't matter what religion you follow, you can come here and you can pray to your God. So it's been very beautiful, and also the fact that we're surrounded by nature right now, it just enhances the experience. You kind of feel one with nature, and when you go up there, you walk up those steps, you can already feel like the respect that everybody has for the space here, and you sort of go into this like solemn silence, and you also kind of have to respect it and that moment. It's very beautiful.
But before the temple, we hurried to the world's busiest pedestrian crossing in the world, the Shibuya crossing, which has over 3,000 people crossing at a time. And like it's popularly seen in the movies, the intersection has moments where all the vehicles stop to give pedestrians a chance to cross all 4 intersections. A majestic moment in time.
Okay, number one, it's a little bit overwhelming. It's a lot of people, but it's absolutely amazing. Like every corner has something like super interesting. Yeah, I think I could stay here for 10 days and just look at like little things. Too much to do and we got to get there, but absolutely bellissimo.
The day ended with a quick dinner and some fun in the town that never sleeps. And just like that, after 2 blinks and a flight, we landed in Okinawa for the Sunsets Festival.
We've come to the end of the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you again next week, Friday at 8 p.m. only on SABC News. From me and the rest of the team, it's good night and happy spring.